Hey, all you viewers to be named later, how we doing today? I know, we're going down the usually little gaming rabbit hole, but today is kind of a tongue-in-cheek video, alright? Like I've said before, I have been out of the Games Workshop tabletop wargaming miniature habit for over 20 years. I've recently gotten back into it. There was just something about the models, got a bug. I gotta get back into painting. Painting has always been one of my favorite parts of this hobby. You have an artistic license to do whatever you need to do. It's the easiest way I can put it. If you want a pink Space Marine chapter, you can make a pink Space Marine chapter. If you want purple orcs, make purple orcs. The endless possibilities of what you can do are up to your mind. But this is the tongue-in-cheek part. These are some things I've learned since I've gotten back into the hobby. Things are drastically more expensive now than they were way back when. Now, granted, the sculpts are better, the details are better, the paints are better, everything is better. But there's that sticker shock of getting back in. When you have nothing, well, you need paintbrushes. Those get spendy. You need specialized tools if you want to get better bases. You need tweezers, you need super glue, you need white glue, you need sand, you need flock, you need gravel, you need all kinds of things. Primer, sealer. It's that initial sticker shock of getting back into it is going to kill you. It really truly is. There's no way around it. You're going to have to do it if you want to do painted miniatures. Now, I'm not talking Rembrandts and Picassos on your miniatures, but something that you can look at on the tabletop and go, I'm proud of what I put down. Now, if you're like me, I just recently finished a miniature, my first one in 20 years. I'm proud of the new steps that I took. It looks beautiful, but I see at least 80 different things I could have done better. Now, speaking of paints, granted, you can go to your local Walmart and you can pick up couple ounce thing for like 75 cents. I think they're called Apple Barrel or something like that. They're okay. They're not the greatest. They're not going to give you the most professional looking miniature when it's all done. But if your goal is to just put paint on a miniature, okay. You know, you've got like Vallejo. I think these are some of the best on the planet. These are what I switched over to way long time ago when Games Workshop basically brought out their new palettes. I liked the really fact that the little paint pots still got bolter shells. I didn't like the fact that the paint really jammed up in the lid and you basically had to take a wrench and pry some open. So I guess that's why they went to neat little flip tops. Anybody surprised by that? My camera has to take another dump. But like I was saying, I guess that's how they went to the flip tops. But man, they've gone so many different things. Base colors, contrast colors, shades, technical paints. You can drop a pretty penny just on GW alone. Some of the ones I always loved, and I've been doing research on Privateer Press, I really like the P3 paints. Can't find them anymore. I guess Privateer's gone belly up. I don't know. I used to love Warmahordes with a passion. Really, Signar and the Troll Hordes. Well, Trolls and Hordes, yes. But still, you're going to need to invest in good paint. Okay, seriously. I'm really liking the Citadel color. I don't know. I got to do research into that. If GW basically became Citadel or Citadel owned GW, I don't know. But that's for a whole nother video at a whole nother time. Invest in good paints. You will seriously see a difference. It will make blending. It will make just layering. It will make dry brushing if you do that. So much different. Another thing I've learned getting back into this is try new things. My biggest skills way long ago were washes and dry brushing. Seriously. That's all I could do. I don't know why. I never tried layering. I never tried really mixing stuff. I never tried a whole bunch. I think I did use water to mix in at certain points to help things get a little easier, but that was my biggest thing. Now I'm using, mediums and other stuff, and I'm really impressed with what I'm able to do. Now, granted, I got to see if it can carry forward, because when you're working on a character model, you're going to put a lot more effort into it than you are a rank and file. I know a lot of people, and I did it, you block paint your rank and file guys. Base coat, shades, shoulder pads, the Aquila across the front, bolt guns. You just keep working right down the side. Other thing I've learned, while these box sets are fun, they're a lot of fun, pay attention to the instructions. And I'm going to show you why here in just a second. Okay? So, I guess they're called Reavers in every other chapter, except the Space Wolves were the Hounds of Mordecai or whatever. But these little wonderful dudes, they basically come with modified bolt pistols and, the grapnel guns and everything else, and their armor is vastly different than the other Space Marines in there. Well, I put a bolt gun on that guy by mistake. I found out after everything was glued through, and I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. So now I gotta tell everyone, yeah, it's his modified bolt pistol. Sorry, my screw up, my this, my that. But pay attention to the instructions. As you guys may remember, my Bjorn the Fell-Handed video, and this should come out well after that video. I made a mistake on him too, because I was looking at when they do their instructions, they have them basically color coded, and I was looking at two colors, and I shouldn't glue miniatures when Chris has had adult beverages, so I glued a heavy bolter to a side of a heavy flamer that Bjorn can't carry. But yeah, so always pay attention to the instructions. If you feel like you're in a rush, step back, take a moment, take a pause, and come back at it later. You're going to super glue yourself to your miniature. You're going to. There's no way around it. I've barely gotten through any of these that I've put together so far without going, God, mother. You're going to do it, okay? Hopefully it's not going to be too bad, and it's not really going to distort the miniature, because super glue basically melts the plastic together, and when it dries, you've got that hardened bond, and that's what holds everything together. So you're going to do it. No matter what you do, you're going to do it. It's at 35. It's at 35.
Am I trying the swapping cords thing?
No, I already did the swapping cords.
Oh.
Sorry, kids. But still, if you know my channel. The other thing I'm going to tell you is dry fit everything. I cannot stress this enough. Look at his knees. I've got a knock-kneed Space Marine. Because I was getting frustrated with everything, I couldn't get it fitting properly. I went, okay, well, let me just get any pose so I can get this miniature on the model. That's how frustrated I got. And it's a little hard to see up the butt, but the legs and everything are off. The back plates really don't match, and that's why I put his bolt pistol right there to kind of help hide that. So dry fit everything. I cannot stress it enough, because you will give yourself peace, you will give yourself a whole bunch of interesting things, and you'll be fine. Sometimes everything just works out beautifully, and you get it all together in one fell little swoop. Yeah, I like that pose for a commander figure, for like the pack sergeant. I thought that was really cool. Like, he's checking his little communicator right there, and I'm going to have to remember not to overpaint that, because I see a screen on there, and I've got some ideas to get in there. I'm going to tell you, honestly, base your miniatures. A little bit of white glue, a little bit of gravel. It's going to take things up to a whole entirely different level for you. It really is. I mean, I just do mine with... I've been experimenting with an Agrax Earthshade wash. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Like a bone white, or I don't know what it's called now in their newer line. And basically a little white dusting. I've been also experimenting with Armageddon technical paint. A little bit of bone white and a little bit of... I've been experimenting on the bases. But base your miniatures. It's going to look a lot different. Look, if your comfort level is just putting goblin green on the base, or like a white or a black, do it. Do whatever your level is, but push yourself a little bit. A little bit of white glue, toothpick, move it around, dip it in the sand, let it dry for a while. And I mean, have fun with some of the poses. Because, like I said, that could easily be a pack leader. Very, very easily. I just like what they've done with these miniatures recently. I like the fact that they're giving you different poses, different things. Now, granted, in that box set, I got 10 Grey Hunters and 5 Hounds of Mordecai and a Lieutenant, which I guess he's a character simply for that box set. I can't find him anywhere in the Space Marines Codex, so yeah. But like I was saying, it just experiment a little. And like I said, here's another example of dry fitting. I couldn't get those in perfectly, and there's that big little ball in there. So you've got to slot them in and carefully fit things together and make sure they're good. But like I said, sometimes things just go together perfectly, and you get like the lieutenant figure. I think his name is what, Haldor, what is it? Yeah, Haldor Ice Pelt. But no offense, in my Space Wolves force, it's going to be Floki. I'm going to keep going with that Vikings theme set because I've got Ragnar Blackmane, I've got Bjorn, Bjorn Ironside, Bjorn the Fell-Handed. He's going to be Floki, and the other captain I painted is going to be Rollo because Rollo always was fancy, and that captain's really decked out, so I figured it might fit a Rollo personality. So I just have fun. Name your guys, name your force, let them earn their titles, let them earn whatever. And the last thing I'm going to say is when I'm getting back into this and learning stuff all over again, it's that brotherhood that I've missed. The fact that you can go to people, you can ask painting advice, you can ask modeling advice. Lots of people will open up their knowledge to you and go, hey, we got this, we got that, we got this, hey, try this, try that. The gaming group that I was really, really proud to be a member of a while ago, and I had my own personal demons back then, so I had to step way back away, is Ordo Fanaticus. They've welcomed me back in, open arms, and they're just great for providing advice, providing just great stuff. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, look them up, ordofanaticus.com. And that's a shameless plug for them. But those are my things, learning, getting back into it. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this stuff. Like when you stepped away and you got back in, what did you go through? When you were just getting into the hobby, what did you go through? Because it does get oppressive at first. That's the only way I can put it. Because there's so much you got to get with codexes and rule books and paints and glues and everything. It almost seems like it's cheaper to sell a kid than it is to, well, you're going to need to sell a kid to get back into the hobby. But, yeah. Oh, before I forget, before you go to your local gaming store to get paint, write a freaking list. I cannot stress that enough. Don't make my mistake of going and sitting there thinking, I got this under control, then come home and go, I forgot this. Then you go back with a list, and you're so excited to be looking through the paint rack, and you forget 6 more. One day I made 4 trips to my local gaming store. Well, I made 3, and my better half made 1 for me to pick up the other paints that I forgot. But still. So, if I made you laugh, made you cringe, made you cry, made you do anything during this video, please hit that big old thumbs up. It's only going to help trigger that algorithm and get this fun out there to other people. Like I said, this tabletop wargaming community, it's a beautiful thing. You do have that guy everywhere in whatever tournament you go to, in any gaming group, you're always going to have that guy. Just don't be that guy. And we're going to do a video on him later on. I've never been that guy. I've always enjoyed defeat. I think I have more than victory, because in victory, I'm always going, what did I do right? And wondering who possessed my dice. Because if any of you have ever gamed against me, you know my dice hate me. That's why I used to take a dice out front before any tournament, take a hammer and execute it and go, that's a warning to all of you. But still. Thanks so much for watching this one, guys. You know the usual little YouTube-y things on the side. Don't need to go over them. Like I said, thanks for watching. I hope all of you are having a safe day, a great day, and I'll see all of you in our very next video.